And I should have gotten rid of all this shit a long time ago, Joe. I know.
But you didn't, because what is a drawing of yourself if it is not a photograph that you just maintain?
Yeah, it's like why would I throw away a photograph of myself looking healthy and young? It should be a reminder that there was once a time where I was healthy and young.
Don't feel like watching movies, so I'll watch people guess them instead. I don't know how it goes, I think it starts with your show.
It's very funny because we all have like a version of ourselves in our mind's eye, and I think we all think I know I do. I feel like I look and think like I'm younger than I really am.
I know.
And Maud happened to be on my timeline yesterday, and she posted a video, or it was Will, one of the two. Anyways, but a SourceFed thing came up at the end of it, and it was you and Maud and Will sitting at a table, and I was like, "Whoa, there's baby Steve."
Yeah.
There's a baby Steve.
Isn't that interesting, dude? Like, the Valleyfolk YouTube channel, when you go to it, it has that like trailer of you doing like the movie game or something, or like it has,
Baby.
and you're such a baby. It's like, dude, that doesn't. I felt like we were too old to be doing what we were doing when we started the Valleyfolk. But I'm looking at footage of us, and we're like young, dude. We're like young and happy and like full of
Babies.
life and excited.
Babies.
Is that why people have babies so that they can recapture their youth, or is it just a total biological
No, big
determination?
Because the wee accidentally went woo woo in the boom boom.
Yeah.
And they go, whoops. Oh no.
I wish we just had a valve that we could turn off and on. That just like it, you know. I think that's coming. Whoa! What the fuck? Check this out.
Da-da-da-da-da-dum. There he is.
What? This is a surprise.
We have an
I didn't
Elliot
even-
Morgan.
I didn't even send you the link because I didn't know you were coming.
There he is.
Are you here or are you just popping in?
I don't know if he can
Oh,
hear
Elliot's
you.
Elliot's reacting to this. For those of you just listening and not watching, there's a jump scare in the background of my video, in the background of my Zoom video.
God, look at him. He looks so European.
He does look very European. Elliot, you look European.
Oh, now we
Don't
can hear
me.
Whoa, where are you? Are you in public?
Yeah,
Where are you?
I'm in Prague.
Guys, Elliot Morgan coming live to us from Prague. Coming in live from Prague.
Broadway.
And there's lots of Progs around and they go ribbit.
Yeah. You remember as a kid? Progs.
Yeah, Prague. Loved Pragues.
Where are you in Prague?
I'm at the Andaz Hotel in Prague. Old Town Prague.
Oh.
Oh, Old Town Prague. What's Prague like?
I tell you, it's very beautiful.
Yeah.
It's not as festive as Joe's Reach, though.
I know, isn't that wonderful? I need you to comment on my background in a minute here too, but let's get through the Prague stuff first.
What's going on with you, Steve? What
I'm having a midlife crisis. Or a quarter life. What's past midlife? I'm way past midlife.
Steve, SourceFed nerd isn't.
Isn't
Yeah,
what?
stroke.
Isn't what? Be careful what you say next. Isn't what? It isn't what, Elliot?
Around.
Okay, all right. You're right. It's not.
Look at this place. Look
Whoa.
at Mr. Prague. All right.
What
we
if
have
Elliot zoomed the camera over, pans the camera over, and it's Phil's office from the SourceFed.
This is
Like
Ian DeFranco.
An exact
All right.
replica of that office he was in.
Do you guys want to talk about everything that happened?
Yeah, give us an update of Europe. Are you coming back?
Elliot's in Europe. Oh, you're not coming back. I know. I get it.
It's really great. No one here speaks any English.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
So you don't feel like the superior.
Well,
I mean, well, it's me. And that's nice. No one speaks English. And what about when you need to get something or have something?
you Google Translate, where
Wow.
you point at it. Just helpful.
You're like,
I guess
drugs,
I've
drugs,
never been drugs, hard drugs, accidental death possible. Like, and then you just.
You get it.
I guess I've never been to a country where the majority speak a different language.
There's Czech.
Check. Okay, check.
Then there was German.
Oh, Auf Wiedersehen.
Dude, the German thing is so funny.
What about it? Like just hearing people talk in German?
It's like being an Inglorious Bastards.
It's
all the time.
scary. It's kind of
It is
scary,
very
isn't it?
You're just carrying around a baseball
The
bat
scariest-
everywhere.
When they're being nice is the scariest thing.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Because
I'll
you're
let
like,
you
what's
guys go.
what's behind those eyes? What time is it over there?
5:15.
A.M.
Nope. PM.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's good. That's good. That's
Yeah.
not so bad. What are you up to
Yeah.
tonight? What are you up to tonight?
We're gonna go to a restaurant. We're gonna get some food. We took a train for 4 hours from Vienna, and we're
Whoa.
gonna go get some food, and then we're gonna crash in our hotel room. So
And
fun.
and how's it been so far? Like, can you give us a quick like how it's been?
we've been sick for a long time.
Uh-oh.
I'm still a little sick, but not too bad. It's been wonderful though. Besides that, the shows were amazing, and it's great. But how are you, Steve? Where are you?
I'm in my new place, man. I'm in Long Beach.
How is it?
It's really different and wonderful and scary and bad and great all at the
Do
same
you feel
time.
like you have enough space?
I don't know. No, I don't think so.
Okay.
It is a bigger place by a lot, and I don't feel like I have the space still.
I don't think the boxes help.
The
You should
boxes
try
certainly
not
don't
having
help.
those. Don't
That's
have
part
those.
of those boxes are here to stay, Joe.
Great set. I love your set.
Thank you. This is my set. It's done.
Do you guys see that fight between Mike Tyson? All right, I gotta go.
Bye. Get out of here.
Bye, Elliot. Thanks for
Bye, guys.
Prague
Thanks
it
for
up.
popping
Love
in.
you.
Have fun in Prague.
Thank you. You too.
There he goes. That was special.
Yeah. From all the way around the world. Technology's crazy.
Technology's so crazy. He's in Prague.
Yeah, man. Living the best life.
All I know about Prague is that that's where they filmed the first Hellboy movie.
Oh, did they really? That movie's great. Hellboys, both of them.
I love it. I love those movies. You know what? It's kind of like the Hellboy 2 is a little cheesy though. You got a
But
little
it's
cheese
fun.
from it. Yeah,
It's fun.
It is. Yeah. But have you rewatched Pacific Rim recently?
Good Lord, no.
You should rewatch it. It's also a little cheesy. I'm just realizing that Guillermo del Toro is a little cheesy. He makes like cheesy stuff. Like he's just making whatever he wants to make. But
Yeah. But he's such a visual director. It's great. I love it.
it's a little cheesy. Dude, Chuck Woolery.
I know. I saw. He just passed.
And Chuck Woolery is like, maybe our audience doesn't know, or like some people listening have no idea who Chuck Woolery is, but he was the original host of the Wheel of Fortune.
Was he?
Yeah.
I don't think I knew that.
Yeah, he was. He was the original Wheel of Fortune host. And then, what was the other one? The
And
dating.
I remember him from all the other shows.
Oh,
that
Love
he did.
Connection. Love Connection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was. Chuck Woolery was one of those. I'm sick and I'm staying home from school, so I'm watching cable TV and game shows and like early morning TV. And Chuck was like,
Yeah.
one of them.
Yeah.
He was just kicking it with that smooth, frickin' talking voice and charismatic smile.
Yeah. But he died. He's 80. He was 83. He was 83. That's like that's a ripe old age, right? Don't you think?
I think so, and he lived quite the existence, dude. He did Love Connection, Scrabble, Wheel of Fortune, the dating game. Like he did a bunch of
The
stuff.
dating game. Damn.
And then he did like clip shows. Made some guest appearances on things. Yeah, he was. I don't know anything about him like in a personal life sort of way. I just remember him as just like an always around television personality from my youth.
Dude, and that's like a byproduct of the pre-internet age, pre-social media age, that we don't really know anything about him. Like, the closest thing to like, dude, this is an interesting observation, I think, if I could say so myself. The equivalent of social media for us back then was literally like the tabloids.
Mm-hmm. But the interesting thing about the tabloids is that you wouldn't believe them. You'd always look at a tabloid with like a skeptical eye, because like people would be next to like the Sun and next to all the National Enquirer and all this other crap.
Yeah.
So you would look at it and you'd go, it'd be like Celebrity A slept with Celebrity B and cheated on Celebrity C, but you didn't care because it was so disconnected. And now that it's all on the internet and people don't seem to have a truth filter anymore, anything that's said on the internet, you just automatically believe, and you think you know everything about everyone all the time now.
Right, exactly. But it's disheartening. It's disheartening. Like, I don't need to know this much about these people. Like, I'm learning all this stuff about Chappell Roan that I don't really care about, and I don't. You know about this Chappell Roan young lady.
She's a very talented musician.
I agree, but
Pink Pony Club. The Pink Pony Club.
She's like, whoa, we switched places. She's like a Taylor Swift that talks about dildos.
That's on her business card.
I had actually never heard a Chappell Roan song, and Mike Falzone and I, name drop, we were on our way to Spokane from Tacoma. We took a road trip.
My old stomping grounds.
Dude, it's the whitest place I think I've ever been in my life.
It's not as white as it's white. There's a lot of white, but there's a lot of non-white too.
Not that that's bad or anything.
There's pockets.
It was just an observation I was making, and it didn't bother me or anything. They were all nice folks, but we were driving to Spokane, and I was like, everything I know about this Chappell Roan young lady is like, tabloid shit. Like TMZ shit. Like she's kind of like a aggressive and like
just ain't putting up with the bullshit expectations of being a celebrity in the internet age. She's like, you don't get that from me, and she's not afraid to say it.
I'm like all on board with that. Like, I love when that's kind of like why we fell in love with Jennifer Lawrence initially, right? Because she's like, obviously she's beautiful and she's very talented. But she would also be like trip on the red carpet and be like, whatever, I'm fucking klutzy, or she'd talk about farts or something. Like, she was very like, oh, she's just going to say and do whatever the fuck she wants.
I mean, she got paid a lot for that fart podcast she did. Like...
Yeah. I try to think of what it would be called. It would be Jenna Fart Lawrence. The Jenna Fart Show.
Yeah, I like Jenna Fart, so that's pretty good.
Jenna Fart Lawrence. But she, and that's like cute or whatever. But it was like, but all of her like, I'm gonna say what I want stuff was very like, she just felt like more real. Like she felt like a real person and didn't feel like a celebrity, like an untouchable, like, they lived a posh lifestyle kind of celebrity.
But what sucks is that the internet and celebrity culture right now, they latch onto that shit in the wrong way. And
yeah.
I'm sure she's a strong human. She's not going to have any problems whatsoever. But there is a part of me that worries for somebody that's young and dealing with all this crap, that they're constantly going to be like pressuring and pushing and hoping for all of those quotes all the time, and then like scrutinizing her all the time, and then that becomes the job, is that she's fighting that scrutinization instead of just getting to be an artist and like reveling in that. That's my worry for somebody like that. But like I said, she just seems like she's strong anyways. It may not be a problem. But today's culture is it sucks.
Yeah, today's culture does suck, and there's way more of a microscope on these celebrities, and like for better or for worse, because like, you know, you gotta move with the times. You gotta move with what, like, you know, these new marketing tools. All of their teams are like insisting that they utilize them because that's the way you get seen by the little kids in the ears and shit.
Chappell, people have goldfish brains. Just like, I got a pitch here. Just, in an interview, trip verbally, and maybe just drop an N-word or two. Look, people, it's gonna invigorate the news cycle.
We gotta you gotta stand out a little bit because you need to do a little bit more than what what other people do.
It's not just about being an amazing singer and an amazing songwriter. Sometimes you just gotta add a little dibble, maybe a little dabble of isn't she racist?
And then we'll see how the Bible Belt area responds. We're kind of losing that area a little bit. But dude, like, not to throw any hate at her, because I agree that I think she's very talented, and her music is, it's catchy. It's catchy. It's pop music, and pop music is always going to work because it's always going to be, you can move to it, and it's, whatever, all that shit. But the things that I've seen about her are like, she's got this attitude that I'm not really into. Like, what's
not
that?
Your type of celebrity.
Well, there's just something about her that's like, she's giving off this, like, I don't know how to be famous, or like, I don't want to be famous thing. And I don't know if that's the, like, move, like, I don't know. It's working for all these kids that probably grew up listening to Billie Eilish, and she was very much like, I'm not going to wear the clothes they want me to wear, and I'm not going to act the way they want me to act. And she's kind of just going to march to the beat of her own drum in a way that other pop stars were not doing. Like, you had your Katy Perry, who was like very overtly designed to be like sexually appealing and like, beauty, like have those beauty standards, showcase those beauty standards we expect from like pop stars, like like your Madonnas and your, whatever. But it seemed like Billie Eilish was like, no, I'm just going to wear a fucking big ass baggy hoodie, and I'm just going to fucking, that's me. You don't get to look at my body. My body's not part of my brand or part of my marketing. And I'm like all about that, for sure. But it feels like Chappell Roan is like the next iteration of that. It's like, not only am I not going to dress the way you want me to dress, I'm also going to act like that friend you have who gets angry at everything and is like yelling at people. Like, you ever like you ever seen someone like God, I guess I need to tiptoe around this a little bit, because there's people.
You drop an N-word? Are you dropping an N-word?
I might have to drop an N-word just to make a point.
Dare.
Is that okay? I just need to make a point here. I've got a lot of free passes actually to say the N-word. No, it was like, have you ever like been in like a public place?
Okay. Yes.
And okay, good. Check. And you're like just minding your own business, and then all of a sudden there's like someone going, like there's like an altercation happening near you, a verbal altercation, like voices are being raised, and you're like, and you're like, what's going on here? And then you zero in on it and you start to pay attention, and what you find out is happening is maybe this guy accidentally bumped into this girl, and it was like, not an intentional moment or whatever, not an intention from the guy to like, assault someone or touch someone without their permission or whatever. But then there's like someone there who has no involvement with that situation, who's suddenly like, no, I saw exactly what you did. No, you touched her. That's insane. No, you touched her. And it's just like escalating and escalating. And it's like, who the fuck is this person? That's the vibe I get from Chappell Roan, is that she's like aggravated no matter where she is, she's on the red carpet and she's like doing the like
Dude,
Karen point.
You gotta
She's doing
stop. Don't bring menstruation into this. That's messed up, man. Like,
the red carpet.
That's horrible. Just, and by the way, my public place right now, in my mind, we're in a Build-A-Bear.
I'm sorry about my wife. She's on the red carpet, if you know what I mean.
Paparazzi, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I see where you're going. I guess I haven't done a deep enough dive other than
So you haven't seen that shit?
Well, no, I've seen moments where she's
like losing her shit on the red carpet in like an elaborate outfit, and it's like,
I don't even know if she's losing her shit. I think she just isn't putting up with the current expectations of celebrity. Like, she just doesn't care. And
right, that's what I'm saying. It's like she doesn't care beyond the Billie Eilish doesn't care. Like, she's now into the, because some people, they have
got chip on her shoulder. She got a little edge.
But that's okay. Like, all of that is okay. But what I'm observing is that like there's an aggravation in her, an annoyance almost that dude, I remember going on a date with somebody, this nice woman,
my wife,
your wife, who's a nice woman, and she's very kind. And we were in a car, and she was driving us somewhere. And there was like, she's so sweet and so nice, has a good heart, and I'm just getting to know this person. And then, this is like one of those tests to find out if you're compatible with someone. For me, I think. A lot of people maybe don't.
Spit right on her face. What did she do?
I just want to see how she reacted. And she got really mad. And I was like, this isn't going to work out.
Could you imagine?
While she's driving for no reason. No. Damn, dude, that's psychotic behavior. Like some kind of road altercation happens, like someone cut her off on the road, and she goes, "This motherfucking piece of shit," and it's not a joke. It's like actual, yeah. Like you're like, where did this aggravation and this anger come from?
Locked the doors.
Right, you can't. No, child safety was on, so I couldn't even get out, even if I wanted to. But even before the lock the door motion, but the thing I'm trying to describe is that there's like people will hide a certain part of themselves, like an aggravated part of themselves, from like the public. Like you got friends over, you try hard to hide the aggravated, annoyed part of yourself.
That veil, you're not showing every part of yourself,
and you don't need to. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's why I feel like this doesn't necessarily fit into the category of like, man, she just tells it like it is, or she's just acting the way she wants to. Because it's like, to a degree, I totally agree that should be done to show people that, like, you can be real and be yourself and still, like, be a pop star, like a big famous pop star or whatever. But I just don't think we need to see the aggravated, annoyed side of these celebrities. Like, there's a reason why you hide that part, because you don't want to be seen as like an easily aggravated person. And what I'm seeing is that she just seems very easily aggravated and isn't afraid to show that part of herself. And it's like, cool, man, go for it. But to me, it just kind of turns me off from her as a person a little bit.
I get it. Yeah. I suppose but for me, I just don't care.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing, Joe. There was a time, like when we were talking about Chuck Woolery and shit, where we didn't know shit about any of these people because they just didn't have an avenue. They didn't have a way to show people who they were. They just kind of like, you'd see them on TV, you'd see them in movies, and that's it. And maybe you'd get in the checkout line at the grocery store and there'd be a picture of Chuck Woolery with some woman, some blurry paparazzi shot or something, and it would say, Chuck Woolery, sordid hot affair with whatever, and I'd be like, I don't give a fuck, and it wouldn't change my feeling about Chuck Woolery at all, because sometimes I would just feel like, yeah, like it's bullshit, it's not real. But now we have social media, and you just like everything is a fucking tabloid now. And it's like, and every headline is a tabloid headline. And it's
I would
just
say it's not healthy.
dude, yeah, we just have to like disconnect from social media, I guess.
For real. Like it's nice when you do.
I get, but you know, I keep thinking about like I'm gonna leave Twitter. I'm gonna leave Twitter. Like I keep thinking I'm going to, and I'm not gonna be one of those people that announces I'm leaving. And like, you know, someone was like, someone on the internet was like, or some subreddit was like, I'm leaving this subreddit. I'm sick of all this shit. And someone said like, you're not a fucking airplane. We don't need to know when you're gonna depart.
That's pretty good.
Like we don't give a shit.
I Irish goodbye Twitter pretty much.
That's the way.
I just before like that everything about that platform rubs me the wrong way,
Especially
from
now.
an idealistic standpoint now, a moral standpoint. You know, this is just me talking about me. But aside from how it's being utilized by the owner and the type of human that seems to be thriving and algorithmically on that platform, it's constantly just showing me things I don't want to see. Not just, again, opinions that I don't agree with, but also like any tweet that I see, right under it, I'm almost like 9 times out of 10 getting like some sort of violence, like watching people die.
Yeah,
like, that I'm not asking.
You're
for.
right. There's awful shit.
Or hardcore porn, which, you know, on some days, yeah, sure, I want to see
why not?
that. But not when I'm like just scrolling in public or next to my kids, or like, it's just giving me things that I don't want, and it's so negative, and it's so like just dripping and saturated with like you said, almost like anger and just vitriol. So I stopped just being there. Like I didn't like delete my account. I just stopped checking it. And the only reason I'll go now is to like go to the search tab and see what my favorite college basketball team is doing, or like if something happens in pop culture and I want to know what's happening immediately, I'll still go there, hit that search tab, and just see what's going on.
Yeah.
But the opinions associated with it and the people that are speaking about those things and the way they're being talked about, like I just don't need it anymore. So I recently, and I haven't been doing social media in general a lot lately, at least participating. But I said screw it, and I started a Blue Sky.
Okay, and have you been using Blue Sky?
A little bit. It's more of a little. It's a positive little echo chamber over there. I'm sure. It'll get there. I think it's not as like. I think the opinions aren't as diverse as they were on Twitter, but I think it'll get there. It's a little safe right now.
I kind of feel like weird about the whole like echo chamber thing like lately. Like I you know, all of my thoughts about like our friend groups and the things that the places we frequent on the internet, like I'm just starting to feel so weird about all of it now, because it's like, you know, it just on our corners of the internet that we've curated for ourselves, it just feels like there was such a like an agreement on like how fucked up things are and how much we want them to change. But then you like zoom out to the outside world and you're like, oh, this is not a reflection of the outside world even a little bit. And you keep getting a reminder of that in a way that feels like really disheartening, because, you know, I've always had this feeling of like not completely feeling like I belong. And, you know, I've always felt that way. Like when I would go to my family, like hangouts, like we go to holidays and shit with the family, like everyone's just so normal and wants to talk about normal shit. And I just want to talk about like what boogers are made out of and like, why do we have boogers and stuff. And like, and you know,
which is my favorite children's book that you wrote.
What are boogers made out of, and why do we have them?
Boogers?
Why do we have
everybody boogers?
Everybody boogers. And then in school it's even worse because all the kids, they're like, it's really hard to find people as weird as you and like as
Takes
and
time. Yeah.
and it takes time, and then when you do, you're like, oh fuck, I'm latching the fuck onto this person because that's like,
Like they're a teat.
yeah, exactly, I gotta get my sustenance, like I need my bad behavior to be accepted and not
Need my colossus fun.
yeah.
That's an early birth breastfeeding
Coloss
joke.
fun.
Colossus fun.
Very good. Good wordplay today. Jenna Fart Lawrence. But we were at a ramen place yesterday, Tangential, and I was like, I came up with Ramen Williams.
So stupid.
And I was like, could this be a character that's like really annoying and he just loves ramen and he like
No, and you know who would have pulled that off? Great. Robin Williams being Ramen Williams in a ramen place, just improving would have been hilarious.
oh my god. Damn. I miss him. But anyway, so yeah, and then you find your people and you latch onto them, and the internet kind of like opened up the floodgates for that kind of like connection. You found all these people that felt as weird as you and like were as weird as you and laughed at all the same shit you did, and we curated audiences that like felt the same way we did and laughed at the same shit we did. But now it's like, now we're like surrounded by people that are like us, and maybe it is to a detriment of like learning and discovering and becoming a better person.
It takes. I mean, I've definitely got my opinions on what the internet has done to us, but it takes a muscle that needs to be very, very worked out, and it needs to constantly, like, you can't skip leg day when it comes to, if you truly want to be educated on the human experience right now, and you have to seek it out, and you have to seek it out in places that you may not even understand or know where to go at first. And it's hard because the internet was supposed to be this thing that made everybody smarter. It was supposed to be this thing that brought everybody together, different opinions, cultures, all this stuff. And I think like on an idealistic standpoint, it does, sure. But what we didn't expect was everybody is a walking echo chamber, and what you are going to do is seek out like-minded people because, like you said, it makes you feel accepted, but you're also seeking out a place to validate
your feelings and your thoughts, regardless of what they are.
Your good ones, your bad ones.
Yeah.
And then you coalesce, like you come together, that gravity pulls you into communities. And then, like you said, those communities kind of get shut off from thought because they make you feel good. They
Right.
make you go, oh, I'm not the only one that thinks A, B, C, and D. These people do as well. And because of that, I think everybody has put on blinders. And the internet, I don't know if it's as positive as we thought it was.
I know, dude. It's just like anything good.
Might be
It starts to-
problematic, actually.
Dude, you're right. And damaging because it does require a level of critical thinking and work, like you were saying, that most people aren't willing to do. And like when you get these big groups of people like you were talking about, it starts to become this thing where like you won't even let anybody in to that group.
Well, and we're sequestering ourselves more too, right? Like
Exactly.
We're post-COVID, we're in this world where it's like you may be this kid in a community that doesn't feel accepted like you did, Steve, right? And luckily you tripped and fell into some, let's consider them positive groups that are somewhat unproblematic, maybe problematic in their own ways. I don't know who that you do in your free time, but
Right.
angry kid in different state or somewhere just by himself that isn't making any connections to anybody ends up connecting to the internet and connecting to voices that aren't getting filtered. Like Andrew
Right.
Tate is just screaming at this kid, and
Yeah.
this kid goes, "I think this guy's right because I'm angry, and these girls don't talk to me; they suck."
Right.
So then you get into those type of things, and there's no filter because you're not connecting with your mentors at school. Maybe you don't have a great relationship with your parents, and you don't have role models. So then you have these people stand in again without filters, and it just like is bombarded into your face, and you're not going to seek the other thing. How many kids are critical thinking? How many adults?
No,
None.
not many.
Are critical thinking enough to go, you know what? This Andrew Tate has a lot of good things to say, but I want to see what the other side is saying
Not
about
enough.
this.
Not
Nobody
enough.
does that.
Yeah.
Not one human being actually does that. Maybe Hank Green,
Yeah.
but he's a racist.
Famous racist Hank Green.
Hank Green. So it's like, yeah, man, it's
crazy.
I don't know what the answer to it is.
We're
quite
just not
honestly.
equipped for that. We're just not equipped for this level of like critical thinking it requires to like heighten your life and everybody else's lives. Because if you think about someone like Andrew Tate too, it's like that guy probably isn't thinking about like what it actually takes to be qualified to give the type of advice that he's giving to people and like weaponizing that advice to people. Like he just woke up one day and was like, I'm just gonna start fucking doing this shit. Like I guarantee to you he's not like qualified at all to confidently teach.
He definitely confidently teaches.
But the qualifications required to be
There's
like
no
a positive
qualifications.
force.
Dude, there's no qualifications for anybody, and
I
power
know.
is corrupting, and money is corrupting, and like, look, it's. You could say it about certain podcasters that got really big. It's like they maybe were a little bit more open minded and not angry, and were cognizant to not maybe buy into bullshit and spread it to your millions and millions of an audience. But now, you get hooked into certain things and certain
And
blah,
it's
blah, blah.
easy.
Yeah, I'm
It's
talking about
easy.
the Joe Rogans of the world. Yeah, what am I dancing about? But you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody's susceptible to the bullshit and the power. And Andrew Tate is 100% a smart individual that knows how to utilize anger and utilize whatever little drops of charisma he has, and he knows what he's doing.
But I say he's not qualified for that in the sense that we weren't qualified to be like reporting the news.
Sure.
Like
But the
that
internet gave everybody a voice. That's the
right.
problem.
Right. And I think what the real solution is, and like maybe this is an oversimplification, but we have to start somewhere, right? We have to like plant the seed that potentially will open up future generations for being more open-minded and critically thinking a little bit better. So I'll use an example that happened recently in my life that kind of like shook me a little bit. But I've got this group of friends and we all like watch VR stuff together. We like go into the VR movie theater and watch movies and stuff. And it's this really fun group and we all laugh about shit. And we all love the same degenerate garbage and it's great. And we just laugh and have a great time and it's just a sense of community. And it's not my only friend group though. And I think that's another thing to keep in mind, to make it an important note to make about this kind of stuff, which is having like multiple friend groups and separating them from each other is probably like a good idea because, I used to think like, no, find your people and fuck everybody else. If you like, I cut all the Trump supporters out of my life in 2016 or 2017 or whatever. And now I'm starting to think that maybe that wasn't the way to do that, and it's like, but whatever, that's a whole other thing. But this particular incident kind of shook me a little bit. And just me though, it wouldn't have shook anybody else, but we were just like laughing about shit and we were just talking about whatever. And I found out that like a fairly close friend hates puppets.
This is not where I thought you were going.
I know, right? I found out a really close friend voted for Trump. No, I found out a very close friend hates puppets.
Hates puppets, loves trumpets.
Loves. big trumpet guy. And I was like, and I was shocked because, like, you know, they like so many similar things, and we laugh about so many similar things, and it wasn't even like a hyperbole, like it wasn't a joke, and it wasn't like hyperbole. They were like, I really hate puppets. I think they're weird and not funny and creepy and all that shit. And I'm just like, it blew my mind because I was like, puppets are so fun. Like, I can understand there's some puppets that are scary and weird and whatever, but for the most part, like, you know, puppets are just like a fun, like, cute, nice thing, you know? And you know, but in my opinion, right? So I'm like, I need to cut this motherfucker out of my life. Like right now, and never talk to them again. Because if they don't like puppets, that's like half of what I am. Like, I feel like I'm half puppet, you know?
Yeah, the bottom half of you.
Yeah, the bottom half is a puppet. And also, you know, whatever. We're a puppet for the government if you think about it, bro. We're all puppets. So you're really hating yourself, bro. So I was like, I need to cut this motherfucker out of my life. And I really thought about it, and I was like, fuck this person. Why do I hang out with this person? Why do I talk?
How offended you are.
I was so offended because
you're Chappell Roaning it about puppets.
But I couldn't conceive of it, Joe. I just couldn't conceive of it. I was like, how? But then I started to critically think, and was like, maybe if you know, if they just don't love that, but they're all the other thing, we've been having such a good time together in almost every other way, and if it had never come up, nothing would have changed. Then like, you know, why not let people who have vastly different opinions than you get close to you and be a friend? And, you know, I think we've already lived like this for a really long time. Like, I think before 2016, you and I didn't really know how many people thought completely fucking differently than we did about very basic social rights and, you know, human rights and things like that, right?
In this area, for sure. I'm from Montana.
That's true. That's true. Did you feel like an outcast in Montana, or did you just feel like everybody thinks this way, so I better start thinking this way to fit in?
Did I feel like an outcast? There were times on a masculinity level I felt out of place, and it was just, I just didn't buy into machismo bullshit. Like,
I know, I always talk about how you were like a cheerleader or whatever. You were in the dance club or something or whatever.
Well, you know, I did like ballet and stuff.
Ballet,
and like,
that's what it was.
But like, I was also I fell into being just like a massive jock as well. Like, that's what I did in high school.
I love that. You played the field everywhere like you should.
I played sports and stuff, but because of that, like, I never felt attuned to the streak of like classic, like, uber machismo, aggressive masculinity, and there was definitely that at times. And me and my friend group, I would kind of gravitate towards like being better friends with females, like with girls, but still was able to adapt to the culture as well. Since I've left Montana, though, it used to be way more kind of a purple state and libertarian.
That's good.
It's definitely changed a lot.
It's just scary when it's all one color, even if it's all blue or whatever, all red, whatever.
They're still there, but there's an aggressive, like, the MAGA anger populism streak has definitely infiltrated communities, and it definitely hit where I'm from, for sure.
And it's strengthening as we speak, and it's like, and it's being motivated for, like, you know, crazy shit. And we just, you know, but I think on the smallest level, if we start to like let in more people that think completely differently than us, and not just let in the sense of being nice and respecting them, but also just like befriending them. Mm-hmm. Like, we need to just like be better at accepting people for how completely different from us that they are.
You don't
And
want to be
like
divisive anymore. You don't want this country to hate 50 versus 50 anymore. Steve,
I
what's
want
wrong
it
with
to
you?
be, I want the fight. And it really, Joe, and they love it. The people in power love it because we're just constantly arguing with each other and we're not focusing on changing the evil overlord part. Like we're just angry at each other on a personal level. And if we could just and I think really, as far as planting the seed goes, if we just accept people's differences, even if they are on a fundamentally twisted way, again, disagreeing on basic human rights sounds like something that I would never want to let someone like that into my life. But the truth is that if we do let people like that into our lives and accept them and discover that they are a lot more like us than we think, and we can get along with these people, then we can maybe start to turn the tide for how much infighting there is in our communities and shit.
Look, you don't have to say anymore. You've got my vote. Zaragoza Hirschberger, 2028.
And then everyone in the cabinet will be source-fed alumni.
Oh, no.
We'll have Will in there, and we'll.
Oh, God. No, thank
Will
you.
wanted to be the mayor so bad, so we can make Will the mayor of whatever this is.
The mayor of agriculture.
Why not? We're already getting weird bonkers as seen on TV politicians.
It's crazy what's happening.
I know. It's it's scary to watch it unfold, Joe. But anyway, let's leave our audience and ourselves on that thought that I think we can, because critical thinking is really hard to teach, I guess, or people just don't really want to think beyond their impulses, which is whatever. But just just really try to let people in that maybe are a little different than you. I'm going to try to accept Chappell Roan as someone that might be aggressive and angry and annoyed easily.
Yeah.
And
I'm going to have an affair with a bigot.
I'm going to fall in love with a bigot.
Bigot is a fun word.
Next week we have Cheryl Hines on the show, and she's going to talk about being in love with RFK Jr. We'll see what happens there.
She seems like every time I see her now or hear a quote, it just seems like all she's saying is, "Oh, what did I do?"
I know she seems to be trapped. And it's kind of fucked up. And then and Larry David introduced them. Did you know that?
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's some high profile party or whatever. Not that he supports RFK Jr. or whatever, but he did introduce them.
I just hope his better angels are the things that get through his filter and his crazy shit doesn't get through. It's sure, dude, if you want to fix the food industry, by all means, please fix it. Yeah,
give it a shot. Give it a shot.
But let's not let polio come back.
Let's leave the medicines that have worked for decades alone.
That'd be great. Let's keep that at bay.
Yeah, go ahead and bring new shit in. Whatever. Bring your horse tranquilizer or your horse shampoo. Shampoo. Whatever. Bring it in, sure, but leave the old stuff that's worked for fucking decades and centuries alone. Don't take our fucking penicillin away. No, penicillin is bad.
Oh, boy.
Anyway,
boy.
All right, Joe. Well, I love you, buddy. I'm sorry about the hardships in your life. And
appreciate it.
And, I want to be there for you and be here for you. And I hope this little slice of conversation that makes quite a lot of people happy makes you happy a little bit, too. And it takes your mind off of some of the injustices.
Happy Thanksgiving to all who celebrate.
Yeah. Happy Black Friday and Cyber Monday to all who celebrate.
Oh, yeah. Do that, too.
Yeah. Get yourself a TV that's $20 cheaper than it was a week ago.
I know. And, Chap, I know you're watching. Thank you for being a fan.
You know what's funny, Joe, is like, Billie Eilish's brother, Phineas. That guy was a SourceFed fan. And like,
Was he really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. He slid into my DMs once and was like, you guys were so funny to me when you were like
Aw.
back in the day. This was like years ago.
Oscar-winning Phineas.
Dude, and Finn Wolfhard and Nick Hamilton and Tony Revolori and like so many other like young celebrities who are like killing it watched our shit. And so like the chance that Chappell Roan maybe see it is kind of high, right?
Uh-huh.
Kind of high.
I'm gonna go bone dancing at the Pink Pony Club.
Let's look through our 50 patrons and see if one of them is Chappell Roan.
Wait a minute, who is this Rappelchone?
All right. Thank you guys for listening. Happy holidays, and we'll talk to you soon.
Peace.